Okay, so every week on our show, we always pick out an 80s album. So what is today's? 1987, the Pet Shop Boys album, their second album. It was called Actually. And I was lucky enough to hook up with the Pet Shop Boys fairly recently. You get sick of people banging on about the 80s all the time.
Well, it would be ungrateful to, but yeah, you know, it's not what you're concentrating on. You're concentrating on doing something new. A lot of it is sort of weighted against you that's in terms of radio stations, they're only going to play 80s and 90s stuff. When people are talking about the 80s, they're probably talking about their youth as much as your music.
Oh, it's a reliving thing, isn't it? It's like,
thing.
You know, oh, yes, this is when I left school. I remember, oh, It's a Sin was number one when I started going out with blah, blah, blah. Chris, do you enjoy it getting on stage, or are you happier, you know, tinkering around in the studio? What's the deal with you?
The best bit really is writing the songs and making the records. But then it's really great, you know, seeing an audience reaction to them, which of course we didn't do for a long time because we didn't tour for ages. And so when we first played live, and I mean, first time we went down to South America and went down to Brazil and places, and the audience reaction was so overwhelming, and all the chanting, and it was just, I mean, it's hard not to be excited by it.
I know you started.
I mean, I did try, but it's hard not to be.
Well, yeah, it's that, like Neil. I think you once said that you've been trying ever so hard to be a recluse, but not finding it very easy.
Yes, I do have sometimes I have reclusive tendencies. You know, I used to have a house until 2 years ago in County Durham, in the countryside.
Why did you get rid of it?
Well, my parents died about 10 years ago. I wasn't going up as much, and my sister looked after it for me, and she was sick of looking after this huge place. And so I eventually reluctantly sold it. But I used to like going up there and being slightly reclusive. You might bump into me walking down Hadrian's Wall or something.
Of course, you are a North Shields lad, Neil.
Absolutely.
And you know, did you ever have a Northeast accent, by the way?
Why, no, man.
Oh, that's not bad.
I don't know. My first day at St Cuthbert's Grammar School, they called me Poshy.
Did they?
Poshy. Oh, ye Poshy.
We Poshy like.
Yeah, Poshy. It was interesting because we lived in North Gosforth, and in those days there were a lot of kids from Ashington and Bedlington who came in, and they had really strong accents. In fact, I found it difficult to understand them. People always said, anyway, they call me Poshy, and I guess there was something in it. It's funny because my siblings all have Geordie accents. So,
and you can understand them all right.
I just wasn't like other boys.
You were just different. No.
Yeah.
Well, that's reflected in some of the lyrics over the years.